Sometimes in crochet products, perfect circles are required. For example, in server wipes, or in products where there is decoration in circles. And then we'll need to use these 5 secrets. So there was not such a circle, but a perfect one. And today I will tell you about these 5 secrets, and we will tie another one perfect circle. I will knit with threads ideal. It's in 50 grams, 170 meters, and take the hook 175 millimeters. Start knitting with a magic ring. And now on this ring, I will knit the first row, usually imitating column. We happen to have a chain of 3 air loops. It's common. And then here on the sample, you can see how is she different. Structures of his drawing from ordinary columns with 1 cape. But we have a perfect circle, so we should have invisible artificial column. So we do not 3 air loops. Here we have the first initial loop tied, and then we go under the ring again and tie a pole without a cape, and 1 more air loop. Here is our first artificial pole with 1 cape. Next, I already make a cape and tie it here. Column without cape. This we will have second, and thus, in total, I need to tie here 14 columns, usually traditionally. The circle starts with 12 columns. See if I start with 12 columns. Here is the sample, just 12 columns. And the second secret of the perfect circle, I need to add to each row as many columns. That is 12, 24, 36, and so on. This one is connected exactly by this scheme, and I get to see such a beanie. That is for an even circle. I'm a little short of poles here. That's why I added here. Add 2 more columns here and tie knot 12. And 14, that's how on this sample. See, he is even, absolutely even. Like a pancake. Some start with 16 columns, but it depends on the thickness of the thread and density. Individual knitting, you can try both sew and sew. The main thing to remember, that 12 columns make a circle. Here's such a cup of volume. That's the kind you see. He's not flat. Therefore, our secret, we out here knitting 14 columns with a cape. I tied 14 columns, and now I can tighten the magic ring. And see my ring practically. Calmly connects without much tension. Now we have with you another one secret of an even perfect circle. It's like going from the first row to the second. This transition we will have repeated with each row. So you and I are pulling this thread a little. This loop well about 2x. On the left side we go here. Loops is here, loop times 2, and here's the third loop, which is between 2 columns, between artificial and real. Here in the third loop we start the hook, and here we tie this working loop. Here we are with you closed. This row. Here we have a loop here, this one here, organized. It's over the column. Artificial. And then we move on to a new row. We go under the same 2 strings and pull out the second loop tie. Column without cape and 1 more air loop. All the artificial column of the second row we have ready. See what he looks like? And here he is not noticeable at all. He looks a lot like everyone else. Now we knit the second row. Here on our perfect circle principle, you need to add 12 columns to there was 28 in the row. Means over each column of the previous row knit 2. 1 we already have. And here we tie. Second column with 1 cape. Next loop 2 more. Next 2 more. And so the whole row. I tied 26, and the last 2 I will tie here in this jumper, which formed last time. And the last column. 28th. Let me show again how to move to the next row. Pull out the loop. Times 2 3 in the third loop. Stretch the working thread. And then we go here and tie a pole without a cape and 1 more air loop. See, a little bit also twists. This amount. Column slightly also creates a shortage of columns. But don't worry, in the following rows, everything is equal. Knit the third row on the principle of a perfect circle, plus another 14 columns we should add. So we knit a column increase. Column increase, that is an increase through 1 column. Our artificial column will be 1. And in the next loop, we tie already 2 columns. And here the second. Further again 1. Next 2. So knit the whole row 1, 2, 1, 2. Total in this row will be 42. I have already completed the transition to the 4th row, and now it's time to tell about the 5th secret. See, and in this circle there are these lines where you can see that I did increments. And the edge of the circle itself becomes as if with corners. The bigger the circle, the more these corners will be visible. But since we need a perfect circle, see here you can't see these radial increment lines. Then we need this increase in 2 air columns. And 1 column of the previous row to do with the engine. That's how it is here. That is, we do not perform this increase. Always in one same place. Yes, here's 1 over 1 and so on. And shift. We have an increase between the increments of the previous row. And this gives us the opportunity. Make like this here. even circle. Absolutely perfectly even on the edge. So according to the scheme we see here is our artificial column and the next column. It's already 2 columns into the previous one. With this starts the row. Here we have this column already. Second column tie. Here we make an increase. Next we need to tie 2 columns. Here in 2 we will have a raise again. Give away 1 over 1, another 1 over 1, 2 tied, and now here in the third column. Tie 2 columns with 1 cape. And this rhythm is observed until the end of the row. 1 1 2 1 1 2 1 1 2. I finished the 4th row and moved to the 5th. And here on the diagram, I showed you the principle. 5th row, see the increase is also located between the increments of the previous row. 6th row too. Out of rhythm. In the 7th row, the rhythm also gets lost. There's number 1 line, where the columns of 2 tie on top of each other. Principle you understand. Let's tie up to the 7th row and see the result. I finished the 7th row and I can cut the thread off and finish this row. Now I will put this thread in the needle. Is ready. And now I'll put the thread here and come back again. Back. And I got the perfect knitting close up. Now I can here secure the thread. And here I got the second perfect circle. Now I can decorate it. Different way, for example, like this. How to do it, I will show in the next masterclass. So subscribe and see you on my channel.